Hello friends, hope you have liked my previous videos. If you like all those previous videos, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can easily access to all my forthcoming new videos. So friends, today's topic is section 313 CRPC, and in this section I have prepared some certain sample questions under section 313 CRPC which are pertaining to 498 and 406 IPC cases. And these questions are very basic questions and which you can easily assess to these questions. So these are the questions which are majority of the cases are asked, especially when the statements of the accused are recorded after the completion of the prosecution evidences. These are the 8 to 9 10 questions are there. You can easily assess to these questions. Before assessing to these questions, I will like to make it very clear about the section 313 of the Code of the Criminal Procedure. Kindly have a look on this section 313 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Kindly see. Section 313 says the power to examine the accused. So in every inquiry or the trial, for the purpose of enabling the accused personally to explain any circumstances appearing in evidences against him, the court may at any stage, without previously warning the accused, put such questions to him as the court consider necessary, shall, after the witness of the prosecution have been examined and before he is called for his defense. So it's very much clear. When the examination of the prosecution evidences get closed and before calling the defense witnesses, so in between, prosecution evidences get closed and defense witnesses has yet to be started. So the accused, the statement of the accused under section 313 is recorded under this section. So there's a provision is also there in the summon cases where the accused has dispensed with the personal attendance of the accused, but this is not relevant in protects to the cases falling under section 498A 406 because it's a warrant case, or because these cases are instituted purely on the basis of the police report. So this provision is not applicable here. But kindly see the point 2. No oath shall be administered to the accused when he is examined under subsection part 1. So means the accused is examined without oath. So no oath shall be administered. The accused is the statement of the accused is recorded without oath. It means if he gives any false statement, no case shall be made against him. So this is the statement of the accused is recorded under without oath. Next is, the accused shall not render himself liable to be punished by refusing to answer such questions or by giving false answers to them. So it means the accused at this stage is not to be very much worrisome. Suppose if he refuses to give answers, or suppose if he thinks that these answers will liable to be incriminating in any other case, it's better to remain silent on those questions in which he thinks that these questions will incriminate him in any other cases, or he may remain silent, or he may give the false answer, but it's not preferable to give false answers. Part 4, the answers given by the accused may be taken into consideration in such inquiry or trial and put in the evidences for against him in any other inquiry into or trial for or any other offense which the answers may tend to show he has committed. Part 5, this is newly inserted. This clearly says the court may, with the help of the prosecutor and the defense counsel, in preparing relevant questions which are to be put to the accused, and the court may permit filing of the written statement. See, it says the court may permit the filing of the written statement by the accused as sufficient compliance of this section. Meaning, it means the accused has the liberty to file the written statement along with the section 313 of the CRPC. He can make a detailed written statement. He can narrate his own it means to say all the circumstances he can put in by the way of filing the written statement. So he can make his full version. It's always been preferable to file a detailed written statement. The written statement provision is also there under section 243 of part 1 of the CRPC. This clearly says The accused shall be called upon to enter defense and produce his evidence, and if the accused put any written statement, the magistrate shall file with the record. So it's now, I think it's very much clear that accused has the liberty to file a detailed written statement, and his statement under 313 of the CRPC is recorded. Now kindly have a look upon these questions, which are in most of the cases, in most of the courts, in the majority of the courts, such type of the questions are usually being asked and the accused is generally these questions are put on to the accused. It says, it is evident that PW complainant was married to you or your son on so and so date. At the time of the marriage, the PW has gifted goods, household articles and other valuables. You started harassing for the insufficient articles brought by her. What you want to say? You can say it's correct that marriage took place on this such and such date, but it's incorrect that I started harassing. It's wrong to suggest that I started harassing for insufficient articles brought by. Next question is, you have not returned all the articles despite repeated demands. What you have to say? You can say it's wrong. It's a wrong deposition. It's a false deposition. It's preferable to say it's a false deposition. It's further evidence that you have turned the PW out from the house by giving beatings to her. What have you to say? You can say it's a false deposition. I've never turned her from the matrimonial house, or she has left the matrimonial house as per her own accord. You can say your version prevail. It's very further evidence that PW has lodged a complaint at Mahila cell. The proceedings were conducted against you and your family. What you want to say? You can say it's more precisely, it's a matter of record, because she has filed a complaint. It cannot be denied. An investigation has been started. It cannot be denied. So it's a matter of record. And what the allegations are, it's the courts. The courts are there to ascertain whether these allegations are true or false. The court will have to apply their mind. It's further evidence that FIR was registered against you on the basis of the complaint by PW. What have you to say? You can say the FIR is registered on the basis of the false complaint. It's further evidence that PW has provided a list of dowry articles claiming that you have not returned. What you want to say? You can say it's wrong. It's a false evidence. You were arrested by PW. Why? It's arrested memo, exhibit P so and so. What have you to say? You can say I was wrongly arrested. Why PW and other witnesses are deposing against you? You can preferably you can say they are the interested witnesses. More precisely, you can say they are the interested witnesses. They have the interest there in this case, so that's why they are deposing against me. Do you want to lead their evidences? If you want to lead evidences, you can say yes. If you don't want to lead any evidences, you can say no. Do you want to say anything to say? If you want to give more narration, you can say that I never harassed her, I never caused any cruelty to her, and you can make a counter allegation. Suppose they were demanding money, if they started threatening you, they demanded separate household from you. You can make your version very much in a precise form, so that court can also form an opinion that you have been wrongly arrested. You have been that it's an abuse process of the court, and it's an abuse process of the law. So the court can generate their own version after considering your version in a written form. You can also file a detailed written statement. And now the onus is always lies on the prosecution to prove their case. Your wrong version will not affect your case. Your false insufficient version will not affect your case. But it's always been advisable to give correct information to the court, so that court can also form an correct opinion and can give the judgment in a right perspective. So I think I have made this situation very much clear, and hope you have liked this video. If you like this video, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can easily access to all my forthcoming videos. My Hindi version will be coming very soon.